Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Season 16 of General's Division. Today I'm playing Stewart, who is someone who's very commonly at the top 10 of the ladder. Yep, right there. See rank 7 allies. I played him many times in the ladder before, always a top player, and it will be fun playing him here in the General's Division. So let's hop into the game. Okay, what's his purchase? Standard 4-2, average West Russia, and a little below average here on Ukraine, and that's a little bit of a big deal. So this is one of the reasons why I like going bomber first, is because you'll get results like this more frequently. When I say bomber first, I mean have your bomber set to be sacrificed first, even before infantry. So that will, your hitbacks will improve a little bit over time, and this way, with there's only one tank, I don't have to risk a plane to take this. I don't have to risk a tank. So this will let me reserve a lot more German units for elsewhere. So let's get into the game and just start with a completely standard buy. Since I don't have to risk any planes, I'm excited about maybe building up an air force to potentially stall the UK fleet drop. Okay. Remember, Stewart sometimes likes to submerge his submarine last time I played with him, which I think is suboptimal because it oftentimes gives that battleship one less turn to get a hit back on the German units, which can put the UK into an undesirable position. So let's hit this with 3 fighters. I only have to risk 2 infantry this way, which is nice. Take Transjordan here to hopefully lock out the UK fleet from coming through here and becoming a general nuisance. And I think that's about the long and short of it. Sometimes I'm a little tempted if I want to send 3 infantry there, but I don't think I will this game. Excellent. I love it when 2 units hit there. Increases my odds of getting a hit back in his counterattack and usually forces them to move the transport here instead of trying to save them. Okay, wow. Going perfect so far. Ah, he didn't submerge his sub this time. Okay, well, he got good hitbacks in any case. Okay, so let's go here. I'm going to leave two units in each spot because I'm feeling pretty good, other than, you know, West Russia. I'm feeling pretty strong about my start here. I mean, I have more units than I'm used to, so I am going to leave 2 units in each of these spots to force Russia to trade. I want to trade Russia down to soften them up so I can bully more territory out of them. or scare them into making it so they don't trade these, and I just get to keep the income for free, which is good too. So let's see here. Let me check my defense profile. I'm going to set my defense profile. Now this is something very important. At top level play, you want to change your defense profiles depending on the situation, because it does make a difference. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting so my submarine will try to submerge no matter what. So if we get into a fight, he misses round 1, I kill his destroyer, he sacrifices it, goes for another round. Suddenly my sub submerges, and next turn I can blast him with the sub and all of my planes. That's the idea behind it anyway. Especially since I'm buying a bomber and have a pretty good fleet here. So, and here's another neat little trick I learned not too long ago, is I'm going to set anti-aircraft to be sacrificed after infantry. And the reason for that is if he wants to strafe this, you know, attack it with the intention of retreating, and he gets 3 hits, he will conquer the territory. He might be running odds saying, oh, I have a 10% to conquer in 1 round, when in truth he might have a 20 or 30% chance to take it. Then he loads up a bunch of units here that he didn't want to, and then I just smash it the next turn. And if he gets lucky, only gets 1 or 2, the anti-aircraft lives instead of you know, dying, which is, you know, 5 IPC versus 3. So that's the idea here. I'm telling him, if you want Karelia, work for it. I'm not giving him an easy 2 infantry here for him to, you know, fly in with his planes. So, okay, I think that's about all we want to do. Let me just make sure that I see 9 tanks there. I should be 9 tanks there. Oh yes, because 1 tank starts. Okay. And I think that's about it for Germany 1. Pretty solid Germany 1. And I like to keep that artillery here, just in case he doesn't kill the battleship. Then I can have really strong odds on Transjordan to allow Japan, you know, an easy India 3, or to at least mess up the Allies. So most of the time, battleship dies. Not a big deal to, you know, have that artillery wandering about. Okay. Catch you guys next time for Japan 1. Welcome back to Japan 1, and let's take a look at what Stewart did. Took the transport, hit France with 2 units instead of just the tank. That's a little interesting. Had a disastrous Transjordan. I got really lucky here. And this is going to hopefully allow me some incredible pressure here. He's going to have to probably move his Russian fighter and US fighter there to defend that. Season 61, average result. Hit here with only the destroyer and 2 planes instead of the cruiser as well. So that's a little risky, but it worked out for him. And since the cruiser's here, this is a much less attractive target for me, especially since I probably am going to hit Transjordan. So anyway, I think we'll go with the usual 1 infantry, 1 tank, 3 transport build, and let's keep on trucking. He gave me the free Burma. I am liking that. I don't have to spread out my aircraft as much. Sometimes when I see that, I start considering, should I go for a Pearl Harbor? You know, I don't usually go for a Pearl Harbor. But since I have an extra, I don't need the plane there, I might as well. It would be rude not to. Not to put my guys to good use. The question is, when doing that is, can I defend all of my fleet? So he can, let's see. Can I defend my fleet? This should be safe with the aircraft carrier and the battleship. This here should be safe with just the battleship. Okay, I think we're in good shape. I don't usually go for Pearl Harbor because it's kind of a wishy-washy attack, or even when it goes really well, you end up losing everything anyway. But you know, with not needing to go to Burma, I think it might be worthwhile. Especially since I might be going heavy air as Germany. It's yet to be determined. Now I'm kind of wiffle-waffling on whether I want to do it or not. Let's spice things up. I'm also wondering, maybe instead this game, I usually send 5 infantry to Anhui, because if he gets 2 hitbacks, it really sucks, because then the US can hit this and make things really messy. It really messes everything up. But since his fighter is pretty much dedicated to go to Transjordan, he has to defend that, right? So if I get unlucky in Anhui, he can't really follow up on that unless he wants to sacrifice Transjordan. So I'm going to adjust my play a smidgen here. Okay. See how this goes. Excellent. Okay, really strong thus far. Usually you lose 2 infantry. Well, actually, yeah, usually you lose 2 infantry, and I've only lost 1. Ooh, that wasn't super great. Oh, God. And I have to continue, or he'll just kill my landed bomber. I think mathematics say I should still continue here. Not the best. Yeah, things were going really good up until that point. So that was a pretty lackluster Pearl Harbor. To the point of which I'm trying to decide if I should give him a free Quang Tung to discourage him from moving his battleship over and hitting Wake Island. That's what I'm thinking, because what I want to send the message of, hey, if you go after that, you're going to get punished. I'm going to take out your battleship, and all you got for it was maybe a bomber. So... is this enough? Let's see, my fighters go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this should protect the bomber, but I guess luck comes in cycles, huh? Have really good everywhere else, and then the most important battle kind of blows up in your face, as it does sometimes. Let me punch that into the calculator to see what the odds of that result are. That was bottom, and 91% chance of that result or better, so that was unfortunate. But, you know, it's a dice game, it happens sometimes, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like Pearl Harbor in general, is even in the best case scenario, you know, he kills the sub and cruiser, and you don't really get much compensation than maybe slowing down the U.S. fleet movement. And when you get unlucky, something like this happens, and I'm down a fighter. Well, what can you do, right? Yeah, it turned into an IPC even on attack, which sucks, but can't complain too much. I had good luck everywhere else. You're bound to have unlucky fights, and alright, well, on to the next round. Okay, I'll see you guys next time for Germany 2. Welcome back, it's Germany 2, and let's take a look what Stewart did. Standard US buy, only took Morocco, and didn't opt to go for the bomber, which I think was intelligent. And yeah, that's US is not too unusual. What is unusual is his Russia. He went really aggressive, and he got really good dice. Yeah, he took a bunch of really close fights and got much fewer hitbacks than he should have been. This should have been like 1 unit left. You know, I should have gotten 1 or 2 hitbacks here. This one was about out. You know, it's... well, maybe I didn't get... Maybe I should have gotten 2 extra hitbacks. That's probably about it, but it adds up. He decided to fully reinforce Transjordan, which means I won't take it. I was a little tempted to blitz down here and then send a Japanese fighter after this spot, but I don't think I'll do it. It's just too risky of a play. And though I think our lead may have waned, I don't feel comfortable taking those sort of risks right now. So let's get to it. Full land buy. Trying to decide if I should send an extra infantry here. I think I will. He can't keep trading with me like this. Take the freebie, and the reason I'm not hitting that with the fighter is I have to go 1, 2. Then I'd have to land either here or here, which I don't have the units to defend with. So the downside, I am a little light on units here. Maybe I'll hold back one of these tanks. Yeah, so if he hits, yeah, he probably will hit there. 6. Maybe I'll hit that with that many units instead. Trying to decide how important it is for me to add more units to Egypt. Because if I go this route, I may not have enough units to contest another Ukraine battle. If he wants to go full send for it. But I think it is really nice to get extra units in Africa, just to force the Allies to send more units down there and give Germany more breathing room. So I think I'll still do the heavy Africa dump. Or will I? It's a tough choice. I'm not sure what I want to do now. I think this is okay. Let's go with it. This is probably the most pivotal one. If he gets 2 hitbacks here, it's not good. That's not good. Oh, man. Well, I think our lead is officially evaporated. Those were some god-awful rolls. He got a lot of hitbacks. How many hitbacks was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hitbacks. 6 hitbacks. Ooh. Maybe, hold on, maybe I don't send 2. Maybe I just sit here and hope. Maybe I'll... Maybe I use the praying strategy that he doesn't get lucky there. Let's change my defense profile. I need to set anti-aircraft first. Because I really do need 2 infantry here to potentially trade back Ukraine if he wants to go for it. And if he wants to hit this, I should be safe. Yeah, I should be safe there. Yeah. That was really rough. Well, I think that's as good as it gets. Alright, well, see you guys next time for Japan 2. Welcome back, it's Japan 2. Let's take a look at what Stewart did. Bought an extra destroyer. Okay, that's good. That's less units in the air and land. Hit Burma, took the Free Northwest. Moving his navy over. Not a whole lot of action. So let's just do an about face. I was thinking of doing a heavy India pressure, but we kind of had that bad Pearl Harbor combined with the really rough turn as Germany has left Germany just a little frail. And I could do an India pressure just to kind of force his units away, but with the Russian tanks there, I feel like the opportunity has pretty much closed. So, especially with I'm having so much that can reinforce. So I'm just going to play a standard game by an industrial complex, maybe move some units down here to poke at him, maybe add a little bit of extra pressure to Africa to get the US to shove more down there and less at Germany. So let's give it a whirl. This poor schmuck can't really do anything this turn. Well, actually, while I'm thinking about it, maybe it's just best to send that like so. I'm a little tempted, based on killing his sub. You know, hold up a minute. Might be worthwhile taking Alaska, because he only can hit it with one infantry and one fighter, so those odds aren't great for him. Yeah, if I put it into the calculator, yeah, it's a 20%, 19.2% conquer rate. Pretty low, so get some income, maybe start the track to take the islands. And yeah, this looks good. I'm trying to consider where I want to place these guys, because I'm thinking maybe I want all of them here, and then I can use one tank here and one to reinforce here. That might be a more efficient use of my units, because this way I have a little bit more bullying power. If he wants to try and stop me up here, it'll be more difficult. think that's probably what I want. Then I'll take this guy here to Sea Zone 36 to either pressure Africa or swoop down here to Western Australia. It gives us some options. I think I like this. I think I like this. And I do want to trade with the UK as Japan. I want to trade him to trade units here instead of other places. Now, I'm going to just put 2 units there. All my units here, because if I... Well, yeah, if I land them here, he can hit this with his tanks. 4 infantry, 2 planes... And I don't know if I'd be able to hit him back with that much. Alright. We have that little cute little sub there. Let's put my destroyer here to kind of zone out his... Well, he only has 1 sub, right? This would zone it out more effectively. We'll move him there. I think everything's pretty secure. I'm trying to decide if I should add a fighter here for Germany, but there's not a lot of pressure, so I don't think it's needed. Now, where do we want to land this final transport? I do want to add that battleship here to potentially have some options against Honolulu. I want the battleship here if I'm going to unload. Let me see, is this bomber safe here? He can hit it. Okay, it should be safe. Maybe I'll just have 1 fighter here and another fighter there. Just to further reinforce this. Make sure he doesn't do something crazy like do a bombing raid. Can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Yeah, if he bombing raided Burma and then sent his tanks and planes in to Yunnan, I don't think he'd do that. But there's not much of a disadvantage to putting a fighter here compared to there. Okay, we got destroyer zoning out his lone submarine. Oh, it's so nice not having to deal with a US sub. We got Alaska. Turbocharge here. This should be safe, right? Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should make 2 units here, but he can hit this with his bomber with the US pretty efficiently, so I think I'll just take the slowdown with Japan and not risk losing my stack in Asia and really setting me behind. Because even though I've been getting kind of bad dice, Russia's pretty depleted with all the trading they've been doing. Yeah, they're at 37 attack powers. Normally they'd be around 45 if they weren't trading so heavily. Okay, let me make sure this is defended. Should be defended here. Defended here. Okay, kind of like the look of Japan's position. It's just kind of weird to me because I almost never do Pearl Harbor, so having this much naval flexibility is a little refreshing to me. Okay. Well, let's call her there. Well, we're not too bad off. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next time for Germany 3. Welcome back. It's Germany 3, and let's take a look at what Stewart did. Bought 2 transports, a couple infantry, took the freebie Algeria, killed the battleship and transport. We got 2 fighters out of that, so that's a little lucky. So we'll take that. Alright, Russia has dramatically clamped down on their aggression, most likely because their planes were out of position. And yeah, I think we're going to slow down the game. I'm just going to buy a bunch of infantry and try to build my stacks to stall until we're strong enough to kill Russia. So let's just do the easy stuff. I still would like to trade. A little bit here. I want to make sure I can still hold Karelia. Let me quickly check there. If he whacks that with everything he has, I can still hold it with what I have. I'll have, let's see, 4 infantry, 9 tanks, 2 fighters. Oh, that's actually a little close. I think I'm gonna have to land all my fighters there. Okay, I was considering for a long time what to do here. You know, how much do I want to trade versus just build up? But I figured if I can lock them out of Egypt income, it's probably worth depleting my stack here. It's gonna get wiped out eventually, so might as well try to milk it for all it's worth. Alright. I'm trying to decide if I should send 2 infantry here, because I'm guessing there's a chance he might want to take Finland next turn with UK, since I think he's going to suicide his transport for Norway. I think I'm just going to keep it at this. I don't want to give him super efficient trades on northwestern Europe. I think it's alright if we fail to capture it, rather than, you know, to potentially be losing 6 IPCs worth of units a turn versus losing 5 if we fail to capture it. Alright. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Oh, going perfect so far. You can't complain about perfection. You can't complain about perfection. Wow, flawless round. Now, yeah, no casualties taken. That's pretty sweet. Okay. Starting to feel a little bit better about the game. Okay. How many did my notes say I need here? 8 infantry. This one there. Maybe I'll keep this artillery here. Artillery isn't super important as Germany passed the first few turns. Move 1 infantry there. Maybe I'll land some planes here to discourage a med shuck. Or to at least say, hey, if you want to do a med shuck, you're going to have to dedicate additional resources. Let me run the numbers here again just to make sure that that is safe. So we're going to have 4 infantry. Though it's cutting it a little close here. I think it's okay. 1, 2. Because he would have to... Yeah, it's a mutual suicide attack for him. Yeah, he has a like a 28% chance to capture. Yeah, and then I just run over him with Japan. I don't think he'll take that fight. And putting the extra units here in France gives me a lot more strength to discourage him from going into the Mediterranean, because he can't reinforce here and defend Sea Zone 15. I guess that means I also don't need as many infantry in France if I'm going to do that. Let's change our defense profile back to anti-aircraft second. So if he does any bombardments, which I doubt he'll do, but it's he doesn't have any viable targets, so might as well prevent him from getting a cheap anti-aircraft gun with a suicide attack. Doubt he would take this fight. Be a super big risk. And they don't really have anything to come up to flood into Karelia. So I think this is okay. Yeah, tiny little optimizations like this can make a difference. Good. I have too many artillery. Alright, yeah, we're in a decent spot. With all of these units here, he's going to have to send some more units into Africa, buying us even more time to build up a impenetrable Karelia stack while Japan does their slow expansion. And I think we should, yeah, he didn't protect Hawaii, so that's pretty nice. Protect Hawaii, so we may not need to send these units down to Australia. We might just hit Persia or Transjordan, depending on what the UK decides to do. Okay, well, Yeah, close, very close game here. Alright, see you guys next time for Japan 3. Welcome back, it's Japan 3, and let's take a look at what Stewart did. Bought a bomber, a tank, and he took Finland, that was expected. Took Ukraine, that was a little surprising. He hit it with 2 fighters and a tank, which is an IPC negative fight for him. Really surprised he took that, but he got good fortune and lost nothing. So, took Transjordan, took out Burma. Not too much to talk about there. Okay, so I'm going to buy 8 infantry, which is enough to move all the infantry and the AA gun, an extra transport, and a fighter. I was mulling over if I wanted to hit Persia or if I wanted to hit Western Australia, but well, those moves are solid. They are just kind of nominal. I'm gonna take this eventually with these units here. I'm gonna take Australia with the Alaskan units, and I don't know, Persia's just not that much of a prize for me right now. Who knows, maybe Germany can do something, maybe not. But it's gonna fall in 2 turns regardless, most likely. So I think I'm just gonna keep my logistics fully operational and unload the 6 infantry into Asia. And an extra transport to help me start scooping up these island infantry, and a fighter because planes are good. Okay, I am glad he didn't kill this infantry with the US, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Okay.
You got tired of playing?
Okay, so for our next move, trying to decide where I want to place these fighters. So I think I can't reach Karelia too. Yeah, I can't reach Karelia with them. I can maybe move the bomber, but that's about it. I'm thinking I probably want to send over some fighters to help take Western Australia. Probably wouldn't be this turn. Well, it might be next turn, depending on how this goes. And I'd have to move them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They could do that move, so we'll go ahead with that. I think we're good. Just feels like massive overkill on Burma, but can never have too much overkill. I had 20 dice miss before. Over 20 dice. Well, he nailed me there. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I guess every one of his units hit back, so that was less than stellar, but it happens. See, is it safe to move all of these guys forward here? Let me see. He can hit this. No, he can't hit it with his tanks because that's blocking. Okay. This poor fellow can only land in one place. Maybe I'll put... I'm trying to decide where I want to place. I think I'll place that guy there. And I'll just place the destroyer here. Where do I want the bomber? I'm kind of a little tempted to place the bomber here to help me hit Australia, but if he shuffles the units over here, it would be a bit of a waste, which I'm expecting him to do. So let's just plop the bomber over in Karelia to make his odds on it just even a little bit worse than they were before. Okay, do I want to add... Maybe I'll keep this destroyer there. I don't need the battle. The battleship doesn't really accomplish much sitting here. This is defended enough with the aircraft carrier. I mean, technically there's a chance that he could... Well, hold my horses here. He could hit this with a bomber and then hit it with the UK bomber. So let's change our defense profile to... I don't think he'd do something that risky, but it's better safe than sorry, right? If you're trying to min-max, might as well stop a potential problem before it occurs. Oh, I forgot. I lost 2 fighters from Pearl Harbor. I'm wondering, like, where are all my fighters? They're at the bottom of the sea. Okay, and this dead zones his submarine, so it can't really accomplish much here. So I can be really greedy with my transports and just eat up these infantry without worrying about defense. Love it. I guess I'm kind of giving him Alaska for free, but I can always retake it pretty cheaply, and I probably will. Okay, well, I am liking how fast Japan is growing, and yeah, as long as we can buy Germany maybe 2 more turns before the US starts dumping units into Finland, that would be incredible. Actually, where? No, I was checking the range on that. I'm a little tempted to plop this down. Maybe in Africa. Might do something. Might force him to... he has enough defense. I don't think it accomplishes too much to put the bomber there. And then I'd have to worry about it getting hit and have to defend it with Germany, which is too many variables for questionable gain. Okay, well... I think that's good. One, two, three, four. No place to grab those. Okay, 45 IPCs for round 3 Japan, not bad at all. We've almost got income parity here. We're sitting at 84, and the allies are, let's see, that's 68, 78, 84. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next time for Germany 4. Welcome back for Germany 4. Let's take a look at what Stewart did. Transport more infantry and artillery. Standard, standard, standard. Took northwestern Europe. Let's see. Attack. Let's see. He hit Kazakh. And lost one infantry. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Let's see what he did with Russia. Pretty standard turn. Nothing too shocking here. I noticed he trades very aggressively with Russia. It's been working out for him so far, but it's something I tend to be reluctant to do because it just allows Japan to bully Russia too hard, and it makes it difficult to stack Kazakh and West Russia effectively. Okay, so just gonna buy land units. Let's here, I'm thinking of maybe plopping down a second infantry here to reduce the odds that he can capture it with UK. No real good Navy attacks, huh? I'm thinking here. Well, I have enough to defend if I defend Ukraine. I want to take Archangel with Japan from here on out. So let's see, I'll have 5 infantry, 2 fighters, 9 tanks, and he's going to have 10 infantry, 3 artillery, 2 fighters. Still should be okay. It's getting a little dicey. I'm trying to decide if I want to send a 3rd infantry. I think I do, simply because I don't mind trading with Russia, but I think it's okay. I can blitz this tank in through here, so that will help. I think it's okay. Let me double check to make sure I got everything. Guess I can delete these old notes. Sometimes I like to make notes before my turn to know what I need to put where in order to hold. I could potentially hit C-Zone 8 and have odds, but it's a risky fight, and I'd rather put my fighters to use elsewhere. I think he's just going to go down and take that with the US, but the UK won't get the income this turn, so still a win in my book. Let me make sure this is blitzing on the right path. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. The double snake eye infantry. Oh, he got me right back! Oh! Well, isn't that how it goes, huh? Okay, so he can. I think I can move all of this up here. I think I can move all of the fighters here. I don't. He's not trying to do a med shuck, so I don't feel a lot of need to defend. Let me just double check that this is safe. So I'm gonna have 10 land units there and a bomber. And he can hit me with the US. He can hit me with 5, 6, 7, 8. It's bomber go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's quickly calculate that out just to make sure that's safe. And when I do these calculations, I always like to include the possibility for the UK to do a strafing run with, infantry, artillery, and 2 cruisers. So I reduce the amount of infantry by 2. And yeah, if I reduce it by 2, it's a little dicey. Okay, is this safe? I think it is. What can you hit here with? He has 1 fighter, his bomber could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bomber can't hit. Yeah, 2, only 1 transport here, so I think I'm safe. And yeah, this should be pretty safe in Berlin here. He can't hit me with more than 1 transport from each side. Okay, well, starting to stabilize a little bit. This is gonna probably be the peak of German income here for a long time, because we're gonna quickly lose Africa. Hopefully I can keep Egypt from the UK. But Stewart shows a propensity to do risky tank fighter air raids, which I think, well, it depends. Sometimes it makes sense, but when it works, it's great. But when it doesn't, it really hurts. So I am a little glad I got that extra turn to send units to Africa. Really forces the US to divert a lot to clean up this mess. And now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 extra IPCs. Yeah, we're at 40 IPCs. Would have been nice if I took that, but you can't get everything, right? So I think we're looking pretty good. And the reason I say that is the US just hasn't started pressuring us heavily yet. So usually you can gauge how well a game's going based on Germany's position. And in this game, Germany wants to get a stack on France, and once you get like 20 to 24 units on France, then you can send all of your production up to Karelia and then maybe trade, 1 or 2 spots here from the Allies, and if anything Russia wants to scrounge up. So that tends to be the big turning point once you fill up France and don't need to put any more units there. And the longer it takes the US to get a Finland stack, the better it is for us. Especially if we're able to maintain a France stack and not have to pull back because of a med shuck or something similar. So I think, let me look at the scoreboard. We're actually, when he finishes his turn, we're going to be behind on attack power because we were depleted a little bit early on, but we should be able to recover quite nicely as the game progresses. The Japanese income's growing. Once we finish the island circuit, then we can really begin to increase the pressure on Russia. Okay, well, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys again at Japan 4. Okay, welcome back. It's UK 4. And let's look at what Stewart has done. He really likes to buy his tanks. It's a little expensive, but he seems to be getting some good value out of them. Let's see, hit France. Oh, he hit it with the 2 infantry. Oh, he got a little lucky there. I'm glad I accounted for that with my numbers. I've lost games to Vic Wheezy because I did not. Egypt, looks like he did another air raid. He got good luck there. Well, average luck really, but didn't lose a plane. Burma, good fortune for him. And Ukraine. You can't get lucky forever with those kind of 1 land unit versus 2 hit back air raids, and he lost the tank and the fighter. So you can see now where it can be a little risky. It's not to say it's the wrong strategy to use, but it's something that has high variability. When it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's horrible. Okay, I was thinking about my buy. I kind of have a little awkward amount of money. My logistics are gonna be off by 1 infantry next turn, but I'd rather get 2 planes rather than 1 because I'm really weak on Air Force right now. So let's get cracking. Let's see. These little fellows. Trying to decide if I want to send a tank to Archangel. Well, let's finish all the other moves first. I'm glad he decided not to move the units from here so I can use my 2 bombards. So that is a small fortune. I need to start being careful, though, of his 2 bombers and submarine potentially hitting here. That could be very bad for us. So, yeah, especially if he hits this with the U.S. first. It's actually, what's his range here? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if we take Burma, he shouldn't be able to reach, so I should be okay. Alright. I think I will use a tank. Tanks are meant to be used. And my Air Force is very sparse right now. So I will put that tank to use. I want to use an artillery here. Maybe I would like to save that artillery for when I'm gonna stack things. Because he's gonna trade it back, so might as well use garbage infantry. looks pretty good. I could send 2 infantry to attack that, but since I'm going to be using the battleship here, I'll just hold off on Alaska, especially since he has a fighter and 3 infantry. He'll just take it back. We have better uses for our units. Maybe in the future when we have more planes, it can hit Alaska with fighters and more battleship bombards. It will become a more attractive option. Oh, I'm so light on planes. Really feel it. My trades are... The fewer planes you have, the less efficient these trades are, the more opportunities you give them for hitbacks. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I was hoping we'd capture that. Oh. This is what I'm saying, you know, when you don't have enough planes, some of these fights, you get results like that more often. Oh man, he's a hitback god. Oof. Oh. Oh. Oh, I can't believe that one didn't hit back. Wow, minus 18. 6 hitbacks. Oof. That was a rough turn. That was a rough turn. Well... that's how it goes sometimes. Alright, let's take it so that this transport here is going to take New Zealand. This one is going to go to New Guinea and then take Australia. Probably just gonna land it in... I guess it doesn't matter too much which side I pick, huh? Reinforce Karelia because we're very light on units. Okay, let's take the AA gun and put it here because we, for once, actually need it. Because he might blitz in here. Where do I want to put this? Bomber back there. Make sure we have 2. I'm a little concerned that he's going to try to hit with this bomber here. And then run in with the sub, get the surprise strike off on the aircraft carrier, and then sink all of my transports. It's a concern of mine. And so I think I'm going to have to create a custom defense profile here. Gonna create a custom, let's see, to prevent some potential problems. No. Why did they even ask you for the transport? Okay, so we're gonna have the fighter go first, then the destroyer, or then the aircraft carrier, then the destroyer. I think that's... Yeah, I think we want the aircraft carrier to die before the destroyer. If... No, I think this is acceptable. Let's swap it to this custom hodgepodge. Defense profile to prevent wacky shenanigans like what we just foresaw. So if he hits that, he'll take a fighter instead of the precious destroyer. Another thing to watch out for is if he nails this and then blitzes here, he has 1, 2, 3 planes. That wouldn't be a good trade for him. Don't think we have to be too concerned. Let's add some extra, maybe one extra guy there to trade out a little bit more. Man, that was a rough round. Oh, he got so many hitbacks. Oof. That round set us back a lot. Set us back a lot. Just making sure I have these transport positions correct. Maybe I could, yeah, okay, well, we have some different options here. He can't reach this, correct? Correct. Oh, it's so nice to have free movement in the Pacific. No submarines zoning me out. That's why you'll often see top allied players will decide to submerge their sub in C-Zone 53 because usually doesn't influence the battle outcome that much. It did this game, you know, because I got bad luck. But doesn't usually influence the outcome much, and when it's alive it can just zone out these transports. Like, I wouldn't be able to do this if there was a US sub chilling over here. I'd have to protect it, which means I couldn't be doing attacks like this and splitting my forces up here, and it just limits the mobility of the Japanese Navy and kind of hamstrings them from doing what they want. Okay. Well, what's the scoreboard looking at? It's not the best. I would say we were pretty far ahead before this last Japanese turn, but after kind of getting those heavy losses, I think our position got a little bit of a setback, but I think we're still okay. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next time for Germany 4, or Germany 5, rather. Alright, welcome back. Let's take a look at what he did for his USA turn. So, looks like he is going really light on the transports and heavy on the air. He's adding so much air. which is one of the strategies I've been meaning to try, is the US. I tend to favor the just mass land units to try and tip the balance of Finland, but mass air can be really strong too because it makes it harder for Germany to defend multiple places. Let's see, the combat hit South Africa. Ah, so this time, last time he got lucky and got the 2 hits. This time he hit France and got a goose egg. It's nice. Hit back here. So, yeah, I guess slightly favorable turn for us with how he got the poor France stack, but that horrible, horrible Japanese turn, I'm still feeling the sting. Big infantry purchase. Got Vologda. Oh, nice. Survived there. Oh, that was a strafe. Let's see. Belorussia. Okay. Yeah, it looks like he finally pulled out of West Russia and is starting to... yeah, and it's trying to take Ukraine as his compensation, but I don't agree with moving the tank to Bulgaria, Romania. You know, you're getting 2 IPC and maybe half an infantry for 6. I've never been a big fan of doing that unless there's too many targets for Germany to hit, and right now I don't think that's the case. So... how many did I say I need here? I need 15. Okay, that's quite a few units. 15 infantry. Okay. I'm eyeing this a little bit. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. I have 5, but I hit harder. I'm a little tempted to attack that. Let's take a look at the Navy. He just has so few transports, though. If there were, like, 4 transports here, I'd be like, heck yeah, we're feasting on boats today. But there's 1 transport there, so even if I get it, the reward's just not that great. I was a little tempted to march my tanks down here. Maybe use the planes elsewhere on the other fights. Because how much do I need to defend Karelia? Let's quickly punch some numbers. So he can attack that with... wow, he's really poor. Yeah, I guess he can hit it with 3, 4, 5 infantry. Yeah, 5. No, 4 infantry. Artillery, a tank. He has 2 bombers, a fighter, 2 cruisers. That's actually quite a bit. And let's see if I hit... how much will I need to defend rather than... let's see, what if I land all my fighters there? Okay, I should be good. Okay, I'm good with what I currently have there. Now let's calculate if I will have enough to defend Belorussia real quick. So he can hit me with 5 infantry, an artillery, a tank. Potentially 2 tanks. I'm going to put that as 2 tanks because UK could kill this then he can blitz across. I mean, maybe I could block it off with West Russia, but just for humor's sake. And let's see, I'm assuming I'm going to have 2 infantry and 9 tanks. I should be completely safe. And I can maybe even bully him out. Bully him out of this spot. So little optimizations like this make a big difference over time. You know, if extra planes here, he can't take this territory. And these guys here, I was thinking about what to do with them. I'm like, oh, maybe I should take that territory, deny it from UK. But what I want to do is I want his US units to go as deep into Africa as possible and take as long as possible to get over to the main battle theater. And I thought by just holding up here in Rhodesia will help accomplish that, because he can only hit with these 2 units, which are more actually he can hit with 3. Maybe I should just go to Italian East Africa instead. Yeah, he can technically hit with the bomber too. Well, if he hits with all 3, then I'll get to keep this for an extra turn, so that's something. But I was a little wishy-washy. I don't want to go here because this bomber can go there and then get back in range, whereas if the bomber hits here, it has to land in one of these territories in the middle of nowhere, which will limit his range. So I think I'm just going to hole up in Rhodesia and hope for the best. Just want to make sure I have enough infantry to get there. Really wish I had enough spare last turn to have a tank here so I could blitz back and forth instead of camping it there, but the Karelia defense was just too tight. I couldn't feel comfortable doing that. Anyway, let's pull the trigger. Nice. Yeah, never have enough overkill. Only got 1 hit out of all that. Three sixes from the fighters. See what I was telling you about never having too much overkill? Only 1 hit. Okay, I'm gonna add 2. I'm gonna be counting on him doing another one of his Stewart patented airstrikes. I need to, maybe not now, but soon I'm going to need to watch carefully and defend Berlin. He can now only hit me with 2 transports and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. A bomber and 1 fighter, so I should be good for now, but in the near future it's going to get tighter. Berlin defense is going to get very tight. Let's move this guy down like we discussed before. Gonna keep 2 here just to make it more expensive for him to trade, or who knows, maybe he'll do another tank bomb. I don't think he will, because he'd have to take his bombers too this time, or land here, which you probably don't want to be landing there with this giant tank stack there. Okay, I'm just gonna rerun the numbers to make sure this is super safe, and I believe it is. Should be super safe. I'm a little tempted to add an infantry here. Well, you know, I won't. You know, if if Russia, or sorry, yeah, if UK wants to trade a tank for a tank, blitz that tank to kill it, it doesn't matter to me. I don't really, I'm not attached to that tank. He'll lose his tank in return, and it won't make much of a difference. So I'll try to preserve my precious, precious German infantry. And yeah, I think we're still doing okay. It's getting a little tight. Getting a little tight. But once Russia pulls back from West Russia, things get better for Germany. And yes, I am very purposely not putting my artillery here. I want the artillery near Berlin because I want to deter France stacks. He might hit here. I want the artillery to give me a little bit extra punch in case he takes this and then plops an AA gun there. I don't think he would because I have all these tanks, but I'm not making these artillery to try to beat up Russia. I'm making them to beat up land drops. And to be honest, maybe I should have just saved the money and not spent it on an artillery, but I only have 3 of them left, so I figured probably won't make too much of a difference. Alright, let's end the turn. See where we stand. So pretty tight game. You know, if you just look at the end of your turn, of course you're going to look ahead because you just killed their stuff and placed units down, but I had a little speed bump with our UK income. It would have been nice to have taken Australia last turn, but moving forward he shouldn't be able to ever retake this. Normally, once I take the islands, I start thinking about pressuring Africa, but he has so many US units down there that I'll probably go for Madagascar, but not a lot of progress to be made there. I need to get my giant infantry stacks over here in Asia, and he's looking pretty light over here in India. So if he gets too greedy, once I get all my transports up and running here, I might get a sneak attack on India, depending on if it remains this lightly defended, because he's just been building tanks here and catapulting at Germany, which is smart. You want to be trading with Germany as the UK, not Japan, because you don't get to see the income when you trade against Japan, with these spots. Whereas if you take the German territories, you get to keep the income. Okay, well, I think that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for Japan 5. Welcome back. It's Japan 5, and let's take a look what Stewart did. Bought a fighter for infantry and artillery. Is he banking money? No, he's just broke. Okay, I like to see that. Yeah, I forget when UK doesn't get France every turn, they can have some money problems. I guess he's not broke. He has more than he started with, but I expected him to be able to afford more than that. How much is that? That's 12. Maybe he was broke last turn. Yeah, that's... How much is that? 12, 22, 28 IPC. Okay. So took Northwestern Europe, lost one, lost nothing in West Russia. Okay, nothing really memorable for his turn, except I see some juicy tanks here that I might be able to take as Germany. So I'm going to buy 2 planes and 8 infantry again. My logistics aren't going to be completely full, but I'd rather have 1 extra plane than, an extra infantry. So we'll keep chugging along. Let's do the easy moves first. Gonna go here. I think I'm going to use, since I can't do a full logistical load, I'm just going to take 1 infantry here because this is just pure profit. I get 2 IPC, and there's a 1 in 3 chance that I kill an infantry, so it's like IPC even. It draws units away from hitting Germany, and it keeps this plane most likely here instead of over by the Germans. So next, next I'm going to do these attacks here. My Air Force is still a little on the pitiful side. I was thinking, oh, maybe I should hit this with the Japanese or this with the Japanese, but I'm a little on the broke side, so I won't be doing that. He's also very sparsely defending India here. So once I get my Navy coming back this way, I think we're going to be able to put on some real pressure and maybe even capture it. Well, we'll see. I think this is about the extent of what we can do. I'm thinking I need to put a unit, I want to put a unit there. It's probably going to have to be an artillery to prevent him from just blitzing and taking it for free. Sucks a little bit to use artillery as a sacrificial lamb, but I think it's the right choice. You don't want to give Russia any income you don't have to. And you want to force them to trade or starve. And that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. Another reason why I don't really like artillery is Japan. The only time I like artillery is when I'm like going for an India timing, or whoops, or when I'm about to take Moscow and I need them. Because they're more expensive, and you usually have enough planes where you don't really need their benefit of extra attack. Alright. Solid turn, pretty average. About what should have happened. Gonna move the tank here. I like units in Sinkang over Szechuan because they have more targets. They can move these 3 spaces, where in Szechuan you can really only go to Gazak. You almost never want to pull back to Kwangtung. I'll put 1 here and 1 here in case I want to take back Alaska. So let's move 1 battleship here. Move that puppy there. I guess I technically have to defend this. Now here's a thought. He technically has odds if he uses a bomber, and technically has odds on me if he uses the bomber and the sub here. So I guess I don't want to give that to him. As much as it hurts me, I kind of wanted to put the sub here, or sorry, the aircraft carrier here, so I can push over here to Africa without the risk of him just moving his navy here and forcing me to go backwards. We'll see what the U.S. does before I determine which way I want to send that. Maybe I really don't. No, I think I think I'll just take the slow route, because I do want this aircraft carrier to be here, so I can have this aircraft carrier ready to potentially attack Alaska. Okay, I think I had a hodgepodge defense profile. I think I'm going to delete that defense profile. And we'll swap to our default. Let me exit and re-enter the game to reload that. Okay. Where do I even want these puppies? Maybe I'll just keep them here. The Japanese Air Force is coming back after the disastrous Pearl Harbor. Now, should I move this destroyer up? I'm a little tempted to do so. I do want to move it up, but not in range of his sub. Which means it can only move here, which doesn't really give me any added attack range, so I guess I will just be keeping that destroyer where it is. Okay, well, hopefully by next turn I'll have enough money to have a full logistics load with the infantry and still be able to pump out 2 planes a turn. Ideally, once I finish this island route, I start thinking about taking Egypt and getting an industrial complex there, but since he has more than average US troops here, that's going to be a more difficult prospect. So I may do a Kwangtung industrial complex, which I really hate doing, or I may think of trying to take India because he is so sparsely defended here. I think there's a good chance I can possibly take it in maybe 2 or 3 turns. We'll have to see. Okay, I think that's it for now. Alright, and I'll see you guys next time for Germany 6. Welcome back. It's Germany 6, and looks like Stewart did a lot of attacks here. Took Alaska, 1 hit back. Got good result Rhodesia. Well, for him, not for me. No hitbacks there. And for Russia, he actually got really good results here. You know, a lot of these were really kind of coin flip battles, and I only got 1 hit back between these two. So that's a little unfortunate. And he got, you know, average results everywhere else. He did a lot of really, you know, high volatility battles, but it worked out for him. So okay, well, we got a lot of choices to make, and buying more land units isn't one of the tough ones, so let's get cracking. One of the benefits of him doing these sort of you know, hit everywhere attacks is I can take advantage of my tanks. Well, Not everywhere, though. Not everywhere can I take advantage of the tanks. Is this one of the places to take advantage of the tanks? Let's see. He can hit that with quite a few units. This is going to require a lot of brain power. I could just skip Northwestern Europe. That might be a better choice this turn, just to skip it. Give myself a little better odds in other battles. Maybe not, though. I think these other battles are still pretty strong. This... should be able to do everything pretty well. The real question is, how safe am I in Berlin? Is a question. I'm probably going to need to reinforce this with more Japanese air, because I think I have to land my planes in Berlin, because he can hit it with 10 units. Yeah, let's quickly run a simulation here of what would happen if he were to hit Berlin with everything. Let's say I'll have 1 anti-aircraft gun, 11 infantry, 5 fighters, a bomber. Well, we'll know if he hits it with UK, but yeah, he can hit me with... How many transports does he have? 2. He only has 2 transports? Wow. It's so shocking. I guess it's because he's been investing in so much air lately. I'll just assume he can hit with 2 bombers, 2 cruisers, and then the US can roll up. How many fighters does he have in range? 2? Okay, I should be safe in Berlin as long as I put everything there. Okay, I think this is as good as it gets. It's a really heavy exchange he did from Russia. I did not expect that. Average result there, I'll take it. Damn. Happens though. Ugh. Oof. Okay, that's really bad, keeping him that extra income. And he can also blitz through with his tanks. Ugh. That's a consolation. Oof. Oh, his hitbacks are brutal. His hitbacks are brutal. Oof. I think I have to move an infantry down here to prevent him from taking a freebie. Oof. That hurt. Okay, I'm still going to keep the... Oof. Plane there to force him to not bulk up his navy. Oh, that was brutal. Oh, that was so many hitbacks. I still think we're in okay shape, though. USA is just really slow on getting pressure here, and let's take a look here in a minute. Maybe I'll add an extra artillery there. Oh man, that was a little rough there. Yeah, I lost a lot of my lead because Russia had really good rolls, and that was, I mean, it wasn't horrible rolls by Germany, but it was, I lost about twice as many units as I probably should have. But what's Russia's overall attack power? Down to 36. Yeah, Russia's starting to get pretty thin and skinny. They can't afford to keep trading like this for much longer. Yeah, I'm gonna suck up all of these, and after that, Russia's not going to have a whole lot left. UK's pretty thin here. As long as I can maintain Karelia, I think I should have more than enough time to come and roll over Russia with how much they've been trading, but they do have a lot of income. Okay, well, anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for Japan 6. Okay, welcome back. It's Japan 6, and let's take a look at what Stewart did. Keeps buying those tanks. Looks like he decided to hit Karelia. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like we got a pretty good result there. I think we probably should have lost 1 or 2 more infantry there in that attack, but we did, or maybe even more. Yeah, that's a pretty strong result. I was a little afraid he was going to do that attack, but I think it was still, I don't know. Maybe I didn't need to send this many tanks here, but if he full-on committed like that, I'm not sure. I think we're still in okay shape, though. Got good result in West Russia for him. Okay, we got 2 hitbacks in Kazakh. That's pretty nice. What did he hit with? 1 fighter. Okay, so that wasn't too abnormal then. Okay, well, looking at the state of the board, I ran the numbers, and it doesn't make sense to try to hold Karelia with Japan. It's just too IPC positive. I think there's a good chance I can retake it with the tanks, or at least strafe, so, depending on what he loads up there from Russia. But I did notice that now that he moved so many of his fighters out to hit Karelia, I think I can take India. I ran the numbers and I have a 85% chance to capture, which is good enough for me. What do I want to do with this little guy here? He's gonna have to run away somewhere. Can this bomber hit there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can't go this way with that bomber, funny enough. I actually really do need to capture that so I can send my tanks out. May as well take it. Maybe not. Maybe that isn't worth taking. He is a butt. He'll just retake it, and I think I'd rather focus on Asia right now. I don't feel that I have a strong need to take Alaska. He has a bunch of planes there. Well, maybe I do. It's a good question. I guess it really depends on how well this goes, because I would like to send more infantry down here for a follow-up in case he recaptures. How would he recapture? That probably wouldn't be too hard. He'd just hit this with the bomber, and yeah, maybe I'll... I'm not sure. Not sure what I want to do. He's gonna bring 5 transports back, which means he'll need 7 here, he'll need 3 from here. Yeah, I just don't like that Alaska attack. I think I'd rather pull the planes towards Russia. Do I want to hit something with these tanks? Well, I guess I can blitz. There's no real point in blitzing that though, right? Is there? Because I could just do that with Germany. Maybe let's change things up again a bit. Maybe I'll use 1 tank here. It's okay if I lose a tank. Tanks are meant to be used, right? I'll swap up where I'm sending the different units. Because I have artillery going here, so I won't need as much firepower as it's just infantry there. Wait, actually, hold on. Can this hit India? If it can hit... Yeah, I can hit India. Okay. you know, now that I think about it a little more, maybe I will try with just one infantry here. And let's set my defense profile to carrier last. Because I expect if he might attack that with his 2 planes, hoping that the carrier goes first and then the Japanese fighters sink into the ocean. Not likely, but possible. Goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I should be safe if I move the transport here. I think that's about as good as it gets. Let me rerun the India numbers. I think I calculated it with 1 bomber instead of 2. Okay, now it's 96% capture. That looks even better. Well, hold on. If I'm using that transport, maybe I don't want to do this because I'm going to have fewer infantry. Yeah, instead of having too many transports, I don't have enough. Okay. Wiffle-waffling on what the right thing to do is there. I'll just hold off. I can always hit Alaska later when he has fewer planes and it's not as efficient of a trade for him. Nice. AA misses. Good rolls. Well, his rolls were respectable too. Just don't get 2 hits. Well, you don't always get what you want in life, do ya? Still, overall, I think that was... Yeah. Oh, no, that was actually exactly average. That was exactly average for what I should have gotten. Okay. Well, I can't complain about getting exactly average. Well, I can complain, but I probably shouldn't. So this is a little bit of an interesting position here. He's going to take Karelia, but I'm taking India. Normally, Karelia is better than India, but in order to take Karelia, he had to sacrifice a lot. Aw, man! He had to sacrifice a lot of planes from the UK. Well, all in all, it probably would have been pretty good, except we lost that Vologda fight. That was a little crummy, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I think I'm going to just take this transport, plop it here. Let's see, can he reach this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He totally can reach that. Okay. It's the only place to keep that safe. don't really have a choice on where I want to land those, do I? Having no choice sure makes things easy. Maybe I'll add a second fighter. Let me check my defense profiles. Am I gonna need to do another weird hodgepodge? Defense profile. Battleship. Well, I think that's good. Let's exit and re-enter to refresh the profile. And make sure everything's okay. I guess I didn't calculate my buy correctly. I should have bought more planes because now I'm going to have too many infantry that I can't unload because these units aren't really in, range of anything. But it happens. Okay, we got an interesting game on our hands here. Interesting game on our hands. Losing Karelia really sucks. It really sucks. Just allows the Allies to just trade all these 4 territories. Germany just starts bleeding units. It's a real mess. But he also paid a price for it. Yeah. 3 planes. Okay, well, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for Germany 7. Welcome back, it's Germany 7. Let's take a look at what Stewart has done. So, US, more transports, lots of infantry. That's about time. He's been kind of low on transports this game. Took Archangel. Took Karelia. Ah, we got some decent hitbacks there. Probably more than we should have. Can't complain about that. Russia. Hit Belorussia. Nice. No losses. Novo, 1-1. Cause. Yeah. Can't complain. Got some decent dice. Okay, well, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of land units and let's trudge on. Let's hit here. I'm trying to decide. Maybe I'll just hit with artillery and infantry. I saw this attack here, and it just looked extremely appealing to me. I was a little concerned about this. I was wondering if I should add more infantry here or not, but I think I just have to take a risk. It's like a 88 something % chance to capture it. Should be fine. I also need to make sure Berlin is safe. You can hit that with... Well, that's right, he only has 2 transports. It should be okay. And Japan can take care of that sucker, right? I'll leave an attack marker just to make sure I don't overlook it. Nice. Nice. If we could conquer this, that would be amazing. Infantry, none of that hit, really. Oh. Well, that's just how it goes sometimes, am I right? Oh my goodness. The thing I'm kind of debating on right now is, let's see, how many do I have here? Do I want to add more units here since they didn't hit back? Because it's hard to say. I think I'll leave these units in reserve for now. So now I have to see where I want these tanks. This should be pretty safe. Maybe I'll add... Now let me run some numbers just to double make sure that I'm okay on Berlin. Let's see, he can hit me with 3 infantry and artillery. How many cruisers does he have? 2 cruisers. 5 fighters. Does he have any bombers? He does not. Against... 10 infantry and artillery. Do I even need that tank? I think I might need that tank. Yeah, that's actually closer than I expected. Okay, that's closer than I expected. I can move these Japanese fighters over there if the need arises. Okay, now it's an 8% capture. Yeah, if I move an additional tank now, it's a 2% capture. I think that's close enough. I don't think this is juicy enough for him to want to hit. I'll run the numbers just in case. Let's see, 2 infantry, 4 tanks, 5 fighters, a bomber against... Yeah, that's a suicidal attack. What if I were to just make it 2 tanks? Still a suicidal attack for him. Okay, let's maybe make it 2 tanks. Maybe 3. Okay, this should keep everyone pretty safe. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Oh, I can't believe I got all those misses there. That was hilarious. 6 planes all whiffed. Hey. Alright, let's take a little look at the board. This is kind of a fun game state. Yeah, it's about even attack power wise. But we have India and they have Karelia. The question is can they hold Karelia? I mean, they can put the 2 Russian infantry there when they produce. They can put 2 Russian fighters, 5 UK fighters, 2 US fighters, whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I don't know if they can hold it or not. It'll be interesting. Even if they do hold it, we'll hopefully start taking a crack at Africa. Get their income, force them to divide their forces or give us money for free. We don't have a whole lot of pressure over on Russia, but that will change. We're starting to get a significant number of planes up now, which is helpful. Okay, well, I think that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for Japan 7. Welcome back, it's Japan 7. Let's take a look at what Stewart did. Still buying more air. Took the freebie Northwestern. Did a suicide bombard on France. Hit India, failed. That's nice, so we can build there. So pretty good round for us. Nothing too impactful. So I was looking at this round, and I think I'm going to buy another transport, 11 infantry, and a fighter. I was a little unsure on whether I wanted that fighter or not. I'm sorry, that extra transport, because I already have 4. But maybe I don't want that transport. I'm not completely sold on the decision. Yeah, maybe I don't. Maybe I'll just get 2 planes instead. I've already taken all the islands. I only need 3 transports here, and then these others can do the work. Okay, so we'll change it up. All right. Not a whole lot to do this turn. Not a whole lot to do. Trying to decide if I want to hit this with a tank. I think I do. Tanks are meant to be used. Sometimes you have to remember that. Your air units, they have a purpose. Let them fulfill it. Do I want to hit Alaska? At this point in time, I think I do. He hit France, and I ran the numbers on France battle, and if he's willing to suicide his bombers, one of his bombers at least, maybe he'd sacrifice it to the AA, but it's kind of a 50-50, like slight IPC negative to him, and if I land 2 infantry here, he might decide to send the bomber this way instead of at France. And I don't really like even trades against Germany. They don't appeal to me at all. I don't think he'll do that, because even if he wipes it out, it kind of, I think it's only like a 50% capture. It kind of give us Karelia back, and with us taking India, I don't think that position would favor them. But we'll see. I really want to take these guys and send them to Madagascar or Transjordan, but I don't think I'm in that much of a rush that I want to destroy my logistics. Or am I? Or am I in that much of a rush? It'd certainly feel a lot safer if I did it this way. And then I'd have one... How many infantry did I buy? I'll have 4 excess infantry to place here. So that would be 9 infantry, and I'd have 3 transports. That's messy. I don't like it. I think I'll just take a slightly riskier air battle here and play it slow, try to flood as many units I can into Asia, and I'll start taking Africa maybe the turn after this. Slow march, no need to rush as much as I am drooling over all of these IPCs. Just trying to think, is that actually what I want? What I really, really want. Okay, let's change. I changed my German defense profile to anti-aircraft gun to die first. I'm gonna go to carrier last because I'm going after Alaska, and I believe you can change it for your other teammates when it's your turn. At least I've been able to do that with the U.S. When it's the UK's turn. It's very finicky. Where are these bombers going? Okay, they can all land there. They should be safe. Okay, I think that about does it. Don't get 2 hitbacks. Ah, perfect. Whenever you hit those air raids with fewer land units than they have, occasionally you get nailed for them, but that time is not today. Oh, might be this fight though. Very nice. Okay, really good rolls this turn. Really good rolls. Cannot complain about the rolls. Always feels, you kind of get that little skip in your step, that kind of happy feeling when you get good rolls. I think I will add an extra fighter there, because I think he might be starting to feel a little bit desperate right now. Since he isn't going for the Karelia stack, I think I'm starting to get a pretty sizable lead against him. I think I might... Oh, can I put more fighters here? That's kind of... Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at that real quick numbers-wise. So if he goes with 3 infantry, artillery tank, 2 fighters against... Really aren't 3 fighters. That's a pretty good fight for him, actually. If I could send 5 fighters, it might be a different story. But I cannot. Okay, let's deal with the transports first. Okay. Let's put this guy here. I'm only going to give this 1 fighter to defend it against the bomber. I don't need 2. Let's move the AA gun up there. Let's move... more units up there, since I think that's going to be the likely place that's going to get a lot of trades. We'll offload you here because this has more movement options. If he's stacking Szechuan or, you know, dead zoning with Kazakh, I can move the guys to Anhui. Now the thing that I'm kind of unsure of is where I want to move this transport. One of them... Okay, let's see. I'm going to have 7 infantry here next turn. One of them I want here. Okay. We're gonna put 1 battleship there. Let's see, I guess 2 of them can hit there. I guess the rest I'm probably gonna have to keep in India. 7 infantry. I guess I can. I'm trying to decide if I want to pick one guy up here or just leave it here to then hit. Africa next turn. I think I like just leaving it here. I get a little sad sometimes when I can't be fully efficient, you know, with the transport loads, but I think denying them one IPC, which is +1 for me, -1 for them, is more important than transport efficiency, you know, waiting a turn, which would be slower. So these are the kind of decisions that I'm never quite sure in my mind what the right choice is. Is speed more important or is efficiency more important? And in this case, I think it's speed because I want to force US to send more units to Africa and free up some pressure off Germany, because once you take India as the axis, that's kind of a death clock for the Allies. They have to get something done. They have to get a France stack, or they have to get Karelia to equalize, or else the income advantage is going to switch over to the Axis, and that's almost always a loss for the Allies, because the Axis is just more efficient. All that IPCs in 2 powers is better than it divided in 3, you know. Russia has some income, but they have very few planes. They're not that efficient with trading. Okay. Okay, I think this is as good as it gets. Just making sure I'm not leaving anything too vulnerable. Have a lot of planes here. Should be very safe, right? Yeah, that's safe. Okay, and let's take a look at the scoreboard. I am very surprised he decided to bombard France, then stack Karelia. I didn't run the numbers on Karelia, but I kind of figured with the Russians building 2 here, and then them landing fighters here, and then there's, you know, 5 UK fighters. He built 1, plus he'd have 6 units that he can buy there. What did he purchase? Oh, he just bought his 3rd transport now. That's so late. That's right, he's been focusing so much on air power that he hasn't had as much dropping with UK. Drops, yeah. Well, he must have come to the conclusion that he couldn't hold it, which kind of surprises me. Is that the case? Well, I'm not going to run the math. I assume he did, so I'm happy about it. And we're ahead in attack power. That's great. Yeah, I see this, unless he gets a really good France here, I think we're going going to start getting more and more ahead every turn as the Axis. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next time for Germany 8. Welcome back. It's Germany 8, and let's take a look at what Stewart did. Bought more air. He went for that France, which he kind of choreographed. I'm glad I set the anti-aircraft to first, but he got a really good result. He got a top 26% result there, and that stung a little bit. Yeah, he was supposed to lose quite a bit more, but that's how it goes sometimes. He did Alaska, didn't use the bomber, got a perfect result there. Perfect result in Archangel. So yeah, he got really good rolls with the U.S., which sets us back a little bit. As far as the UK, he bought, yeah, he still has, or sorry, not UK, Russia. He still has a lot of income for this portion of the game. Hit Ukraine, yeah, he's trading really aggressively with the US or Russia, and he took a lot of losses, and you can see it's really starting to eat into his attack power. And with Russia's lack of planes, these sort of, you know, self-destructive attacks, when you get kind of average or slightly below average results, it really hurts him. You know, he got some good results earlier that kind of carried him through, but you're starting to see the price of excessive aggression with the United Kingdom. So I'm thinking I'm gonna buy some extra artillery or not this turn. I'm kind of undecisive here. I think maybe I won't, and I'll just stick with infantry since I got a lot of planes. I was originally considering more artillery because I don't want a France stack happening, but the US doesn't really have a follow-up after this. So I think I'll just stick with infantry like I originally planned. This should be pretty safe, but I'm going to calculate it anyway. What will he be able to hit that with? I'll just say it's a 2 waves. First, he'll hit it with the UK with 4-1-6 fighters, 2 cruisers. I guess I'll say I'll have 10 infantry. Yeah, some of these really complicated battles are a little difficult to calculate out before my turn, which I try to do for your guys' enjoyment, but it's not always possible because some of these are... You just kind of have to start adding units to the fights and seeing how things work out a lot of the time. Okay, so there's that, and I'll say he'll retreat when he has 8 units left, and then we'll say the US is going to hit. I'll assume he'll suicide bomb 6 infantry, 4 artillery. How many fighters does he have? 2 fighters, 1 bomber. Actually, he can hit with even a little bit more. And how many fighters can reach? If I had 5 tanks, doesn't look so good with 3 tanks if he does that. 5 tanks, it looks a bit better. What about what we got going over here in Ukraine? So I'll assume he'll get 2 hit back, so I'll have 7 infantry, 1 artillery, 3 tanks. He can hit me with 4, 1, 6, 2. Still an overall negative fight for him. So I may just do that. Let's see, what if I add 1 extra tank here? That might make things a little bit more equitable. Okay, I think I like this. We're stretched a little bit thin here, but I think it's reasonable. Now, for the last calculation, I just want to make sure Berlin is safe. That's always something to look out for. I'll have all my planes land there. They should be able to reach. The US can only hit with okay, completely safe in Berlin. No chance of capture. Okay, let's give it a whirl here. Do I really need this much in Karelia? Okay. This is the one that makes me the most nervous, that bomber living. Excellent. Alright, this hitbacks here matter. If he gets more than 2 hitbacks, I'm in trouble. 0 hitbacks. Oh, that is beautiful. Though he is kind of playing on house money for that fight. Oh, great rolls so far. Okay. Did I get a single hit back? No units lost. No units. Okay. Well, that helps. Maybe not as much as that not perfect, that really good France fight he got, but it does help. And remember, he is paying some compensation for that fight because he had to land a bomber in northwestern Europe. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure we change our defense profile to anti-aircraft second. In case he wants to do a 2-1 attack on Karelia. But yeah, we're holding the fort, and they don't have Karelia, they don't have France. I think he's probably going to be forced to attack one of those this turn. because if he doesn't and lets me hold on to these, he's just going to be very far behind. I don't know. I can defend them pretty. I ran the math on all the fights, and I got better than expected results. So, yeah, I think things are starting to shape up. Russia's, all of these are dead, and Russia can't keep affording to be losing this many troops. I mean, how many did he lose attacking Germany? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He lost 6 attacking Germany. He's going to lose 2, 4, 5, another 5. That's 11 units. You can't replenish that. So, yeah, I'm starting to like our position more and more. The attack power is kind of telling you that as well. Usually at this point in time, allies are ahead, because they have the eco advantage, but the Axis, has the logistics advantage of usually being able to kill Russia before the allies can get troops in. You got some U.S. troops in, which can be a real nuisance. But yeah, I'm liking our position now, and let's keep it going. Okay, see you guys next time for Germany 9, or Japan 8 rather. Welcome back. It's Japan 8, and let's take a look at what Stewart has done. Took the freebie Baltic states. Got a really lucky Karelia bombard. Got 3. Took Northwestern Europe. Went after Belorussia. Okay. When you start seeing them do things like this, like fighter, attacking a fighter, they're trying to desperately go for something risky. And I think when I look at the board, the only real move he has is hitting Karelia. And the odds are already poor right now. It's a 37% conquer. And so I'm just going to land all my Japanese planes to turn it into basically 0. So let's look at the purchases. 11 infantry, 2 fighters, perfect logistics. We're only going to have 5 infantry here, but we have an extra one from the previous turn, so should all work out. Okay. Sometimes I look at these Navy battles, I'm like, can I get that? The answer is no, but we're getting close. This is a little close too, but I'm gonna go for it anyway, just because I want to. You know what? Maybe I won't go for this. The odds aren't super amazing. I mean, what are the odds of 2 fighters and 2 infantry and a fighter to beat 2 infantry? I think it's like a 58% capture. I don't know. Should I go for that? He has a lot of fighters here. I think I'll go for it anyway. I just want to buy Germany some time. I can't hit anything with that and return, but I think 2 fighters still makes this a 4% capture, so maybe I don't need all of them. Okay, we'll take this guy, we'll take Madagascar, because I think everyone agrees that UK just has too much money. And where do we want to hit, huh? I don't think I want Egypt just yet, because he'll just smash it. Whereas if I take Transjordan, he can't really take it back. Okay. really tempted to use this fighter somewhere. It just feels wrong to not attack with it. But I think, as much as I hate to say it, the right play isn't the most optimal play, because we're getting pretty far ahead here. The US, their logistics are way out of whack after going for France. We have a lot of breathing space now to stack Karelia. We could stack France, or we could just pull back. And the way I think that they win is getting really lucky with Karelia. I think that's how we could lose this game potentially. And sometimes it's best, instead of trying to figure out what the most optimal move is to try to figure out, you know, what are the ways that you lose your lead. And I very confidently feel we're in the lead. Let's look at the score. Well, we're not that much in the lead in terms of like attack power, but in terms of board position, it's just going to get worse for them. This little, you know, bastion of U.S. troops isn't going to last. Next turn, we're going to take South Africa. We're going to maybe start inching guys into Egypt, and then he's going to have to start making hard choices. Either trading, shaving this now. Well, anyway, it's he doesn't want to defend Africa, and we're going to force him to do it, or to let us have the income. Okay, I think that's good. I'm just going to move this battleship here so I don't forget it. I've lost a lot of boats to subs, or lost subs in areas just because I forget to move things up with them. And in fact, I think I'll do the same here. Missing anything? Alright, let's rock. Well, that sucks, but I'm still going to continue because I don't want the infantry to go down for nothing. Alright, sucky result. It happens. Yeah, I think that's like a bottom 10% result, but bad rules happen. Just gotta live with it. Oof. Alright, well, I'll tell you, it wasn't a great round. You know, they got 4 hit backs, but I think we're fine. I can just outright hold this. Yeah, I think only his bomber can reach here. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I don't think he wants to land his bomber here with all that. Okay. Add that second fighter there, just new things. I changed the defense profile of Germany to default because I suspect he's going to hit Karelia, so I'd like that AA to go first. Guess we'll just keep these guys there. Keep landing there. Feels kind of weird to land in Kwangtung, but I think that's still the superior choice. Just want to double check that I have enough meat here. That's 8 units versus 7. Okay. Should be good. Should be safe-ish here. Okay, and we're starting to turn on the screws. We don't really have much of a stack built up, but Russia doesn't really exactly have a lot left either. They've been trading very heavily, and they can next turn's probably the last turn they're going to have the freedom to do so, if even that. They're going to have to start dialing up. They can't. They fought themselves to exhaustion now, and good part of that is you get a lot of income, you weaken Germany. The downside is when Japan knocks on your door, they just kind of roll over and take what's coming to them. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's turn those odds on Karelia. Let's see, what are their odds on it? 0.3% chance to conquer. Okay, those are the sort of odds I can sleep comfortably at night with. That's really the only thing he can do. I mean, he kind of also has to do it. Russia's actually looking pretty close to falling. I don't really have many artillery, but boy, do I have a lot of planes. All right, let's take a look at the 54 income. We're starting to get there. Yeah, now we've got a pretty hefty lead. We don't even have Africa yet. It's only going to get better. Okay, well, I think that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for Germany 9. All right. Well, looks like Stewart decided to call it there. The funny thing is, I didn't even notice I had a Victory City win right there. I was just so focused on playing standard that, I just got the Victory City win out of nowhere. As expected, he went for the Karelia YOLO, the, sub 1% capture, which I guess he had to because of the Victory City threat. He didn't do well enough, and that was the game. So this was a really interesting game. It had a lot of back and forth. So it was a very close game, which I kind of like these sort of games where I feel skill kind of determined the outcome more so than dice. I had a few lucky runs, and so did he. But yeah, good game to my opponent. Really fun one to play. These are my favorite sort of games, the ones where it's close and every little decision matters. Okay, well, I'll catch you guys next time.